Hey, thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. I appreciate that. I am Fred Reynolds. I'm here at XenTegra, the president of the Modern Apps division focused on ServiceNow. I have a panelist group with me today. So I do want to say, thank you for joining our Optimizing Facility Management with ServiceNow. We will be focusing on the Workplace Service Delivery Application, WSD. Our panelists today, as I said, my name is Fred Reynolds. I'm the president of Modern Applications, running our ServiceNow practice. I will pass it to Samir to introduce his team.
Hello, everyone. I'm a solutions architect at AMS. I had the ServiceNow implementations. Just to give a brief background about the company, we are in the industry for more than 2 decades. Our biggest differentiator is the FM knowledge that we bring to the table. In terms of the ServiceNow partnership, we are in their Build Partner program. We have our app published on the store. Our team also have certifications in WSD. We also have system admins and developers. From my team, Dominique McNeil, she's the applications engineer, and Andrew O'Connor, who is a full stack applications developer, who will be joining.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Perfect. Thank you, Samir. We thank you for the AMS team. So if we go to the next slide, I want to go through a couple of quick commercial slides, and then we'll get in with the webinar as what's scheduled here. So at XenTegra, just to let you know, we have a fully built out ServiceNow practice. We're certified on 80% of the platform. As you see, we have a high degree of talented resources of 12 plus years in architectural experience. Our development, our admin experience is over 8 plus years as a tenured average. We have been winning awards since we started our practice a few years ago. And again, we partner with AMS and other partners to specialize in certain things of that 20% that we don't have complete certifications on. Next slide, Samir. Just to let you know as well that we are authorized to sell anything that ServiceNow has, sell, support, consulting services. I'll talk about our services next, but on the product side, we do license to sell anything on ServiceNow. We are a build partner, building specific applications. We help our other vendors that we support to build applications for them specifically. We are an MSP partner as well. We have a domain separated instance. So if you don't have your own ServiceNow instance, we can have your own domain and do the same things that we're going to demonstrate here today in your own smaller instance of ServiceNow. And we provide a lot of micro assessments, trainings. We want to make sure that we partner with you and our customers to make sure that we deliver you the best services possible. We do that through free assessments that we provide, training, and making sure you're educated on the platform. Next slide, please, Samir. The services, we are agile, very agile. We try to customize our services to specifically what customers are looking for. We do provide consulting services, advisory services, roadmap building, overall large projects, no matter how large the projects are, and in managed services, ongoing support at all different levels. Next slide. Good. With that, we're going to jump right into this webinar. So Samir, I'm going to hand it over to you and the team to get going with the overview.
Thanks a lot, Fred. Just to get started with the application architecture, so Workplace Service Delivery Suite is built on the ServiceNow platform by the ServiceNow team. And as you can see, it leverages the core functionalities like mobile, virtual agent, employee center, performance analytics, and of course, the generative AI, where there has been a lot of emphasis in this knowledge. And in the middle, as you can see, there are mainly 2 initiatives. What the WSD product team is focusing on is the workplace experience, which is more for the employee, and that is the list of the different applications that they will be interacting or working with. And there is also the second initiative, which is the workplace management, which are like the fulfillers and the facilities teams who work in workplace. And those are the list of applications listed below. Just to keep an update, this list is always evolving, so always refer to the ServiceNow documentation to get the latest list and updates. All right, just to cover the applications we are going to cover in today's webinar, the ones that you see, which are like light purple in color, those are the ones we are covering in today's webinar. There are a lot more we are not covering. Maybe we'll do a part 2 for the sake of the time. And with that, we will get started, and I'm going to pass it to Andrew, who will start with the workplace space management.
Thanks, Samir. So to kick things off, we're going to look at space management module, which will serve as the foundation for this application. Go to the next slide. So for our first scenario, we have Liz, who is a space planner, And as a space planner, Liz is tasked with optimizing the layout of her company's facilities and faces the challenge of effectively managing space allocation. Liz needs to find the best way to utilize her company's space to meet the needs of different departments while also planning for future growth. Additionally, tracking how spaces are being used and making adjustments as needed is crucial for Liz to ensure optimal efficiency and functionality. Go to the next slide. So in this section, we will go over how WSD's space management module can help Liz by providing a single solution to measure space, assign cost centers, and track utilization, enabling her to optimize her business space assignments and meeting room usage, and give her tools like scenario planning to create the best possible seating arrangements. So the foundation of the space module is the space hierarchy. This hierarchy allows users to track space data across all levels of the WSD spatial hierarchy, such as areas, space types, capacities, occupancies, just to name a few. Space can also be grouped by teams and departments into areas or neighborhoods. So here we just have an example of a space record to show, just how much data can be tracked for a single room or space. So next up, we'll be discussing neighborhoods, which are collections of workspaces and users to serve a particular group. Neighborhoods can be utilized in other modules such as reservation management to restrict users' options for selectable space, which we'll discuss in more detail once we get there. So WSD also provides space planners with space optimization analytics, where they can view live dashboards with interactive charts that can be filtered to show needed data. This enables space planners like Liz to better understand and visualize their utilization metrics, which in turn can help them optimize space utilization. Go to the next slide. So looping back, let's see how space management has helped Liz in her role as a space planner. By utilizing WSD's space management module, she was able to easily track space data and optimize her office space allocation and utilization by creating multiple seating scenarios and finalizing what worked best for her company. So next up, we're going to discuss indoor mapping. So for this scenario, we have Steve, who is a CAD specialist. As an AutoCAD user, Steve creates detailed architectural drawings to facilitate efficient wayfinding for end users within his facilities. He focuses on crafting precise floor plans with clear navigational cues and signage placement to guide individuals seamlessly through the space. Ensuring the accuracy and accessibility of these drawings is crucial to Steve for effective wayfinding and overall operational efficiency. Steve continuously updates and refines the drawings to adapt to changes, needs, and optimize user experience. So in this section, we're going to go over how WSD's indoor mapping can help Steve upload his floor plans to the ServiceNow platform, where they will be readily available to other employees and visitors for wayfinding, and enable them to browse, search, and navigate workplaces to discover available services, reservable spaces, and amenities. So looking into the features of indoor mapping, we first have the editor, which allows full customization of floor plans, including layer colors, icons, titles, and even allows the addition of different direction modes, such as accessible directions that direct users to elevators and avoid staircases. WSD's indoor mapping also provides users with wayfinding, which helps users find a specific space or meeting room and provides step-by-step directions from a selected space or seat assignment, even between different buildings. Users can also select from those different direction modes that were set up in the editor, such as the accessible directions we mentioned earlier.
Andrew, what type of floor file types are accepted during these uploads?
So CAD drawings can be exported as DWG and DXF files. And if you don't have a CAD drawing, you can even upload an image file, which then can be, further updated in the editor.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay. So next up, we're going to show a demo of wayfinding where an employee needs directions to a specific space. So we can start the video. So you can see they're going to navigate from the dashboard to the location directory and select the building they need. Next, they can select which floor they want to navigate to, and they'll select the space they need to get to. Click Get Directions. Here they can even search their name instead of the space they're starting from, and it will take them directly to their primary location. And then we'll get step-by-step directions on how to navigate from that starting space to whatever space they need to get to. So looping back, let's see how indoor mapping has helped Steve and his coworkers. Steve was able to provide a seamless wayfinding experience for his company. He was able to utilize a highly customizable editor to make the floor plans to his preference. And going forward, he will be able to efficiently map and update these drawings as needed. All right, so next up, we're going to look at reservation management. So for this next scenario, we have Patty, who is a marketing manager. And as an employee needing to reserve meeting rooms and workstations, Patty's primary challenge involves navigating the office layout and team schedules to make efficient bookings. Understanding when colleagues will be in the office and where they sit is crucial to her for strategic resource allocation. Effective communication with colleagues and staying updated on their availability helps Patty streamline the reservation process and maximize workplace utilization. So in this section, we'll go over how WSD's reservation management can help Patty reserve any workspace, including desks, conference rooms, collaboration spaces, or parking spaces from any device. Quickly view workspaces on our company's floor map using an intuitive color legend to identify reserved, available, and non-available spaces, and add services or requests to the reservation and manage multi-dimensional activities such as events, conferences, trainings, or even customer visits. So to start out, we're going to take a look at the reservation form where users can search by building, floor, date and time to create recurring reservations and add filters for necessary equipment or space types. And the reservation form provides 3 different ways for users to view these available spaces. So starting with the card view, this shows cards for each reservable space, along with the space details and standard services such as projectors or conference speakers. It is best used for searching for a space with needed amenities and services. Next up, we have the schedule view, which shows a timeline for each available space with blocks to show when a room is unavailable and who has reserved it. It is best for looking up meeting rooms and shared space.
And Andrew, can they be added to external calendars as well? Like Outlook?
Yes, so you can have a reservation generate in .ics file, which can be imported into, Outlook or Google Calendar. And, with further configuration, you can have that system be fully synchronized and automated.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so the last of these three views is the map view, which shows the floor plan for the selected floor. And this is best used when making a reservation based on proximity to other employees, for collaboration, or for someone like a visitor who may be less familiar with the floor's layout. The reservation form also has an invite and share option, which allows users to easily add invitees to their reservation, assign them to a space, notify them, and track their acceptance status. Users can also easily create hybrid meetings, share the link with attendees, and retrieve the link to their recording when it's available. When creating a reservation, users can also add requested services such as catering or cleaning before their reservation, which admins can set prices on so that they can track costs. Looping back to what we mentioned earlier, the reservation module has a reserve by neighborhood functionality, which enables users to browse reservable space by neighborhoods. And admins can restrict these neighborhoods, so only users assigned to that neighborhood can reserve the spaces in it. And this enables hoteling spaces to remain reserved for a specific team or department without the need for specific assigned seating. Users can also browse for available spaces near specified employees, which makes collaboration easier by allowing them to reserve a space based on proximity to their team members. And this is great for hybrid workplaces, as it allows employees to decide when they should come to the office and where they should sit to best collaborate. So next up, we have another demo. This one's for the browse near a person functionality. And in this scenario, we have an employee who wants to find a seat near their coworker Sherry for collaboration. So you can start the video. So you can see here, they select browse near a person and they search for the employee they want to sit near. And then they will select the date that they want to come in and the reservation. And they'll search for available spaces. You can see here, we take a look at the card view and the scheduled view. But as I mentioned earlier, in this instance, the best option is the map view, which will show the floor plan with a pin to show where the searched employee is seated. And then I can just zoom in and select a space near them and reserve it. Right, so looping back, let's see how reservation management has helped Patty. By utilizing these tools, Patty was able to effectively find and reserve a space that fulfills her needs. She gained awareness of her team's schedules and gained effective communication for booking. All right, now I'll pass it off to Dominique.
Thanks, Andrew. Okay. Hello, everyone. We're going to get started with workplace visitor management. So with workplace visitor management, we have Debbie. Debbie is a guest services supervisor, and she's responsible for managing on-site visits. Debbie finds it difficult to manage those visitor registrations, communicate with visitors and their hosts, and also properly prepare for visitor arrivals because of inefficient manual tracking and unorganized paperwork. Debbie also finds it challenging to ensure that the visitors receive their required on-site visit details that are specific to that visiting location well ahead of their arrival. So, how does workplace visitor management help Debbie? Employees gain a convenient method for registering those visiting guests or off-site colleagues ahead of arrival, providing essential details about the visit and the guests to the reception staff. And the visitor management team gains the ability to monitor those visitor registrations from a centralized location, which would be the visitor management dashboard. They can print badges, share workplace visitor policies ahead of arrival, and also manage and update that visitor status from that centralized location. So the hosting employees can select this register a guest catalog item from the Workplace Services portal to complete the visitor registration form. So we can see a screenshot of that to the right here. And the hosting employee would be filling out information that the visitor management team needs, such as that visit description, a visit location, arrival and departure date and time, indicating who those hosts and co-hosts are, and then adding if there are any parking or Wi-Fi requirements. And then they can also choose to submit that registration for external visitors, or that, like I said, those offsite colleagues. So maybe a remote employee or an employee that just works at a different location. So here we just have a few examples of some notifications and also a badge from that visitor management application. So first, to the very left here, we can see an email notification that would be sent to the registered guests that provides more details about the visit, such as who the host and co-host is, the date, the time, and the location for that registration. Then in the middle here, we can see an example of a visitor policy email that would be sent to that guest. And those policies, again, can be created for the specific location that that guest would be visiting. So for example, if your company has a manufacturing facility and the visitors needed to agree to wear appropriate PPE and to be escorted at all times while on the premises, those details can be sent for that specific location prior to arrival to that guest. And the host can also receive a notification if guests do not actually accept those policies. And then on the very right here, we can see a visitor badge. And that badge would just include information such as the name of the visitor, the name of the host, and the date of that visit. And just to provide a little more information, ServiceNow doesn't provide the printing hardware, just the capability to generate that badge from that visitor registration record.
Dominique, if any changes happen to the registration after the fact, are the visitors notified of that or communicated to?
Yes, so there are out-of-box email notifications that the visitor can receive. So if the host decides maybe that date doesn't work and they contact the visitor management team and let them know, I actually want to change it to a different date, the visitor management team can update that registration record, and then that email notification will be sent to the guest.
Thank you.
Thank you. So here we have the visitor reception dashboard. So this is that centralized location where the visitor reception staff can go to manage those visitor registrations for the day. So we can go ahead and start that video. So we're going to begin by filtering the dashboard for just one location. So if I'm on the team for 1855 Broadway, those are the only registrations that I really need to see for the day. So then I can see the expected visitors today, as well as the visitors that are currently checked in. And I can click the expected visitors and see Francine is expected. She is an employee health speaker. I can say that she has arrived and check her in. That will then update her actual arrival date and time. And then if we navigate back to that dashboard and reload, we can see that it has updated. So it just gives us a very smooth and streamlined process for checking in or making any updates to those visitor registrations. So, thanks. So then how were Debbie's challenges resolved? So the visitor registrations were streamlined. There is improved communication with the visitors and their hosts. There is enhanced preparation for the visitor arrivals and timely delivery of those on-site visit details. So now we're moving on to workplace case management. And with workplace case management, we have Mark. He is a facilities manager. So Mark is responsible for overseeing workplace upkeep and ensuring a suitable working environment. And he needs a convenient way for those employees that work at his location to notify the appropriate teams of their concerns and their requests. And Mark also needs to be able to oversee and track cases to make sure that compliance requirements and employee satisfaction are met. So how does workplace case management help Mark? Employees gain access to a self-service experience that allows them to raise requests for various workplace-related needs using desktop or mobile, with the ability to report workplace issues using floor maps and reject or accept case resolutions. And the workplace teams gain a simplified manual or automated case fulfillment process that includes adding approval options, auto-assigning requests to the appropriate groups, adding fulfillment instructions, creating SLA definitions, and monitoring cases through to completion. So workplace case management increases efficiency and reduces complexity by allowing employees access to directly submit requests for various workplace services. So here we just have a few different workplace services that could be created. Some of these are out of box. So cleaning requests, move-related requests, general inquiries, space assist requests, and more. For example, maybe travel requests or time off requests, anything that your organization might need. So I also want to highlight that Workplace Service Delivery does have a maintenance management application that was released last year. We're not going to cover that in detail during this webinar, but just to highlight a few key differences between maintenance management and case management. Case management isn't restricted to just maintenance requests and can be configured to manage cases and requests of various types across an enterprise. While with workplace maintenance management, in addition to those corrective maintenance requests, you can create preventative maintenance plans for assets and locations, and you can also create duration and meter-based schedules to automatically create maintenance cases. And then further, with using workplace case management, so unlike some other request fulfillment solutions, such as just submitting an incident, through ServiceNow, with the workplace service delivery and indoor mapping, employees can report workplace issues using those interactive floor maps. And it's also beneficial for those teams who are following up on those requests. They might need to use that location directory that Andrew showed us previously and find exactly where they need to follow up on that request. Maybe they're not familiar with the location, so they can use those floor maps as well.
So Dominique, what happens when someone who submitted a request or doesn't accept the solution? They wanted to reject the solution that was presented.
Yes, so if a case has been finished and it goes to that accept or reject case resolution phase, and the employee that actually submitted that case says, oh, this wasn't done correctly, I'm rejecting the solution, then that state of that record would actually just go back to the work in progress phase, so that employee, that person that was assigned to that case, can go and follow up on why that was rejected.
Thank you. So it does create some accountability in the completion of that loop and keep it going. Thank you.
Exactly, yep. Okay, so here we have the Workplace Services Catalog, and here we can see various types of items available for submitting some requests. So we can see that request a desk change for the move management module, which we'll talk about next, is actually built on Workplace Case Management. We also see register a guest, space assist request, and submit a general request. And then we also can see the general request form in a little more detail to the right there. And with this form or any of the forms, the admins can create additional or edit these catalog items that are available to the employees on that Workplace Services portal, just to really fit your business needs. So with the Workplace Case Dashboard, this is available on Workplace Central. Here you can monitor workplace cases and view various reports to provide details such as on cases open this month by service, open in the last 3 months by service, overdue case SLAs, and active and unassigned cases. So finally, how have we resolved Mark's challenges? With Workplace Case Management, Mark, we really implemented a simplified self-service experience for the end users. Task management was streamlined for those workplace teams with flexible request fulfillment options and access gained to a configurable approval workflow and SLA definition. So now we have Workplace Move Management. And with Workplace Move Management, we have Sean and Melissa. So Sean is a move manager and Melissa is a department manager. They both have their own move-related challenges. So Sean is responsible for overseeing all workplace move activities and has difficulty keeping track of multiple incoming requests, as well as delegating move tasks to the appropriate teams, while Melissa is responsible for new hire onboarding and overseeing employee space assignment changes, and has difficulty keeping track of new employee move request progress and ensuring that requests are approved before being executed by the move team. So how can workplace move management help Sean and Melissa? With workplace move management, employees gain a convenient way to request changing their space assignment with the ability to select seats on a floor plan and follow that request progress, while the move teams gain an organized process for monitoring and fulfilling move requests, as well as for communicating important information with stakeholders during that move process. So workplace move management overall allows submitting, managing, and fulfilling space move requests. It simplifies that move process using move cases and related move tasks, all of which can be delegated and assigned to appropriate individuals or groups. It allows for the ability to create and automate approvals and email notifications for move requests to keep stakeholders informed during that move process, and the ability to use Move Scheduler, which we'll talk about next, to coordinate bulk moves. So first, we're going to take a look at a demo of the move request form. So the move request form, and just before you start it, Samir, with the move request form, you're going to be using that requested-change catalog item on the Workplace Services portal. The video does move a little quickly, so I just want to set some context for everyone here so we can all follow along. But I have already pre-filled in some of that information, such as who is moving, so it's myself. I could also select another employee, though. I've selected the move reason as convenience and the requested date, and it autofills my from location based on my current primary seat in the system. But if you have multiple seats, then that can be updated to change where you're moving from.
So Dominique, just to be clear, you just said an end user can do like group moves, can select more people to move?
The end user would really only be able to submit an individual move. So they will be able to submit a move on behalf of themselves or another employee. We can talk about using Scenario Planner. That Space Planner would be able to create a scenario plan and then would be able to assign multiple user assignments on a floor plan. And once they submit that, it would create a move project and create move cases for all of those individuals. So that would be the best way to do a bulk move. But really for end users on the portal, it would just be individual, kind of like one at a time.
And back to what Andrew went over with the scenario, with the plans, they would end up on a map as well. So you can actually visually see it. Perfect. Thank
Yes.
you.
That is correct. And on that map, you can color code the areas too by like department, cost center, neighborhood, or even like a space type or status.
Great. Thank you.
And so we can start that move request demo video. And so we're just helping me find a new seat. So to find that new seat, I'm going to select the building and the floor that I want to move to. And then instead of just searching through a list of all the spaces on the floor, which can be more complex and difficult, I can look at that floor plan and select my space from there. And so I'm zooming in, I'm saying, I like this seat. If it's one person, that's perfect for me. And once I'm ready, I can go and submit this request. And then once submitted, it moves on to that approval stage. Okay, so now with the workplace move management workspace, the move manager receives a high-level overview of move-related activities at your company. The move manager can view active move requests, projects, and move tasks, and they can also view the status of requests through reports. So being able to see planned versus unplanned move requests, requests that are in a state of work in progress, awaiting approval, or closed. And you can also receive an overview of your active move projects. And with the move projects, the move manager can plan and coordinate bulk moves by adding move cases to the project. So once a project is created and cases are added, you can see the cases on a calendar view. So showing how long the cases are planned for and their current status. And you can click into the request directly from that calendar view to view more details or update the case. And so we'll actually see that next in a video demo. So before we start this as well, I just want to orient us again. We're looking at the calendar view of a test move project, and we can see that the move project is scheduled for June 18th and already has 5 cases assigned to it. So then when we start the video, we are just going to click on Adela's case and view the case details here in the side panel, and we can directly update from there or open and see more case details. We can go back to the calendar view and view each of the cases in a list format, and we can also add additional move requests. So Sherry has a move request the same week as this current move project, so we're going to add her request to this project and we're going to reload it. And then we will return to that proper week in the move project and see that Sherry's case has been added. And then we can actually pick up that case, drag and drop it on that calendar view to update when her case is planned to start, which then updates that planned start date for the entire move project. So we can see that it was June 18th, but because Sherry's move is now starting June 17th, the entire move project's planned start date has updated to that June 17th date. And so how were Sean and Melissa's challenges resolved? Workplace Move Management provided the employees with a convenient method to make space assignment requests, a streamlined move process using those move cases, and automated approvals and notifications for those requests and for the stakeholders. And I'll pass it back off to Samir and Fred. Thank you.
Thank you. I think at this time, I'm going to see if I can unlock or open up for the attendees to be able to ask questions if they would like. So one quick second. You have to do it individually. So I want to start to unlock. So if you guys have, okay, if you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat at this point. As I wait for that, thank you, Dominique, Andrew, and Samir for educating us on that today. If you guys have any more questions or any follow-up you would like, please contact us. We'll be following up with you as well for all those that attended. And thank you for your time today. I'll give it one more minute to see if any questions come in on chat. Again, if you have a question, please put it in chat. I'm scared to hang up if I see people typing, so I don't see an indication yet. Okay, well, thanks for everyone attending, and I really appreciate your time today. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.